Now check this out.
This is the Chrissie Swan Show.
2 official announcements in a row. One, Samuel Jack said it best when he said,
And it feels like summer.
officially, I am looking at a forecast of all the major capital cities that we go to air in, and the sun is shining everywhere.
Remember last time we did that, Swanee, and someone trolled us from Adelaide because it was too hot?
Well, I did double check that. It is 25 degrees in Adelaide, so I think it counts. It's
They'll be
okay.
happy, yeah.
It's all right. Second announcement is that goes hand in hand with this beautiful weather, ice cream. I have got a community service announcement from our favourite prestige restaurant, McDonald's.
Yes.
You can now get chocolate ice cream as well as vanilla out of the soft serve machine everywhere. Now, let me just tell you what that means. Obviously, the $1.15 cone. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It just doesn't.
$1.15 cone, you can have chocolate, but you can also use it as a base in your sundaes, in your McFlurries. Every use that you used to have with the vanilla ice cream can now be used with the chocolate ice cream.
Yum. That's a win. Have they ever done that before?
No, I think it was on and off for a bit, and then they did some test stores. It's everywhere.
Amazing. I'm going to be getting one after work.
The Chrissie Swan Show. Specsavers is helping Chrissie with her mystical visions. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Mystic Chrissie.
Michelle, why do I hear the sound of, like, fighter jets?
As in, I don't know, you need to tell me more. But
Like
I
Air
feel
Force,
like
Air Force. RAF.
Oh, because I'm right next to it and I live next door to it.
Wow.
It's on the screen, Michelle. Don't be impressed.
Now, I've just got, for you, Michelle, and I don't know, it doesn't always happen, I've just got like a stream of consciousness of words, and I'm just gonna really put my back into it and give it to you, all right?
Okay.
Youthful. You're very youthful. People can't believe how old you are, Michelle.
That is absolutely true.
Stacks of Botox is what I'm hearing, Michelle.
No judgment, Michelle.
Well, maybe.
No judgment.
No, well, maybe. It's my fashion too.
You've got beautiful hands and people comment on them.
That is very true.
Also lots of Botox.
Blowtox.
No
Botox.
Botox in my hands. My hands are very small.
Now that we're talking about Botox, did you hear about Scrotox? This is not Mystic Chrissie. This is just normal Chrissie. Have you heard what Scrotox is? I'm not suggesting you have it because you don't have that bit. But people are having Botox put into their testicles. That's all I need to tell you.
That sounds horrific.
You love a puzzle. You love a puzzle and you're not bad at Wordle, Michelle. Or Sudoku.
No, that's not me.
You are not cuddly.
Oh, I am with my animals and my children.
But generally,
Not other adults.
yeah, you're not a hugger. You're not a hugger.
Nah, not too much.
Michelle, just between you and me and the fence post, literally no one is listening. Your neighbour is so irritating, you wished that you lived somewhere else sometimes.
Nothing to do with my neighbours, but I hate where I live.
That's what it is.
Why do you hate where you live, Michelle? I'm intrigued now.
I can't stand the congestion of Point Cook.
Mm.
It's too much.
That would
We're
be.
trying to get out.
This must be why I've circled rural. Are you thinking of a regional centre, a regional escape?
Absolutely not. No way.
One last hit, Mystic Chrissie.
I've written down suddenly. Now, that could mean that somebody around you died very suddenly, or you love the song Suddenly by Rose Tattoo.
I don't even know what song that is.
So who died
Someone
suddenly?
did die. Well, someone did die, but it was kind of expected, not sudden.
Who's the alcoholic, Michelle?
Oh, good God, is it me? No, it's not.
Yes, it is, Michelle.
Yes, it is, Michelle.
You've got a VIP Specsavers voucher and $250 cash.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
It's Chrissie time at Priceline Pharmacy, and you're sure to find a little something for everyone, from fragrances and gifts to a new party look. Give great gifts, feel fab, and love paying less. That's the Chrissie spirit.
Head in store or online at priceline.com.au.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
You're listening to the Chrissie Swan Show on Nova. The sun is shining. I'm feeling good, and I'm glad to be here with you, Jack, because you're a very honest barometer of my increasing lady madness.
Yes.
So I know ever since we've known each other, since you were basically in nappies, you've always told me when I'm doing something unusual.
Yeah.
And usually it's a surprise to me. And something has happened, and I really need your take on it, because I'm 100% sure that I'm right, and I think that society thinks I'm wrong.
You just have a unique way of tackling life. At times.
And, some examples of this is that, when I'm out walking and I need to go to the toilet, I'll just pop into a cafe that I've been to over the year to get a coffee and use their toilet. And one of the cafes said, well, you can't do that. You haven't bought anything. And I said, yeah, but I bought something 2 weeks ago and I didn't use the facilities then. I'm cashing it in then. It still makes perfect sense to me.
But that's just not how life in the world works. I appreciate you think that's how it goes, but it's just not. I'm sorry to give you the news.
Can you see how I would think?
Because I know you so well and I know how your brain works, I get how you think that's how it works, but I'm telling you it's not.
But I've got that in the bank.
We can't do another 5 minutes on this.
This is a new one.
Okay,
So
I love it.
as you know, my daughter Peg is a very fussy eater, and it's very hard to find anything, particularly for lunch, because guess what? She doesn't like sandwiches. So I know, it's just a nightmare.
So surprising, because you are elite when it comes to cooking. I mean, anything, but especially like rolls and sandwiches.
I know. She doesn't like sandwiches, and she's just fussy. She just doesn't like stuff. And I did, quite famously give her lunch orders because I couldn't be bothered anymore. And then there's the lunch order shame at school, because what sort of bad mother do you have?
Every day for a year, you've got a lunch order.
Every day for a year, you have the same thing, and then she never thinks about it again. Anyway, we've moved on. I now microwave 4 and 20 sausage rolls for her for 3 minutes until they're so hot they would give you a 3rd-degree burn. And then I put them in foil and put them in a thermos, and bang, they're still hot. Now, the sauce is the issue, because you must have sauce for sausage rolls.
Obviously.
So what I use is these. I pack her 2 of these squeezies.
Couple of squirters.
Right, the squirters that you normally get from a, takeaway shop or whatever. These are hard to come by. Supermarkets don't stock these, so it's an issue.
No, you have to get the squirters from like your fish and chip shop or something.
Correct. So they are free with purchases at the
no, I can already see where this
at
is
the
going.
servos. And my friend was at the servo on her way over to my place the other day, and I was clean out of squeezies. And she said, I'm at the servo. Do you need anything? Do you need milk? And I said, yes, grab a handful of the squeezy sauces near the hot food.
Need a squirter.
I need a lot. My daughter needs lots of squirters, all right? Anyway, she comes back to the house, and I said, have you got my squirters, my tomato sauce squirters? She goes, no, I couldn't find them on the shelf. I said, no, they're not on the shelf. They're in the area that you get your sausage roll, and then you take a squirter.
Yeah, no. You're asking her to steal is what you're doing.
They're free.
They are free should you be buying a pie or a sausage roll that the service station is selling. It's not just for Rachel to walk on in while paying for her petrol and grab a handful of squirters.
No, that is...
this is where you are wrong.
No, I'm off on a technicality here, because I don't have sauce on my pies or sausage rolls. So I've made plenty of purchases from servos of hot food, pies and sausage rolls, and I haven't taken my squirter. I'm just getting them now.
But Raj doesn't know that when he's serving you. He doesn't remember, Rachel's friend has come and bought sausage rolls and pies. You can't actually think this is reasonable.
I just want to acknowledge the casual racism there, but...
no, that's my local 7-Eleven guy that I'm mates with.
Look what I've got here.
So she stole?
No. I said to my friend, don't worry about it. And then yesterday when I was filling up my car,
You stole?
I grabbed a bag that normally the hot food goes in and I filled it up with squirters. And, the guy behind the counter said, hey, what are you doing?
Good.
And then I made a quick getaway.
I hope he called 000.
No, I've eaten at least that many sausage rolls and pies.
But he doesn't or she doesn't know that.
Well,
That's not
ask
fair.
me and I'll tell you.
Oh.
They're free.
You know what you did, Swanee? You did a full Houdini.
I did do a Houdini.
The Chrissy Swan Show. Chrissy's Christmas Wish List. Brought to you by Disney's Wish. Only in cinemas Boxing Day.
I mean, this is the most magical time of year. Yes, there's Christmas. But then there's the new year and all the hope and the joy and the achievable resolutions
I agree, Swanee.
that we all have. Jess, are you a December person? Do you love this time of year?
I do, and not just for Christmas, but my daughter was born on the 19th, so I love it because of that as well.
Oh, it's magical. It's a magical time of year. Now, you have a very specific wish. You're forward planning, aren't you? You're planning on a big 2024.
I am. I feel like 2024 is our year.
How can we help you, Jess?
So I'm wanting to start my own cookie cutter business. So I've been kind of thinking about it for a little while, and I'm needing a 3D cutting printing machine. So, it's not, the business is a passion that I wanted to start, but it's also going to help my husband and I buy a house next year, hopefully. Hopefully it kicks off and it's really successful.
This is music to my ears, dreaming big. And, you've got at least one kid. I'm sure you've been granting wishes all year. I am thrilled to tell you, Jess, that I am granting your wish.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much, Chrissy.
It is on its way to you. Please keep us posted about all
Thank
your
you.
success for next year, Jess.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So
I
exciting.
was about to ask Jess what a 3D printer does and how it works, but I feel like that's probably a Google question. I'll do it.
And I'll tell you in the song.
This competition is brought to you by Disney's Wish, only in cinemas Boxing Day. Swanee, we're going to be granting someone else's wish tomorrow. All you've got to do is jump on the Nova Player app and register what wish you would like us to come true.
Chrissy's Clickbait.
Serena Williams did herself a mischief with some ill-advised skincare. Sometimes if you've got sensitive skin, you cannot muck around with the more hardcore stuff. I know, because I live at Priceline.
Of course.
You can't muck around with retinols in particular, and she has sensitive skin. She's put a retinol on her under-eye area. Also, Serena, come on, you don't put anything too harsh on there. It's very, very tender. Anyway, she's burnt herself, done herself a mischief with this acidy sort of stuff. And she has revealed the most unlikely to men of treatments. Have a listen.
I'm trying some breast milk. It works for my kid. Like they say, put breast milk on everything, and I have a lot extra. So I'm going to try it for like a week or so and see how it goes.
She's putting her own breast milk onto her own face. Now, I don't have a problem with this. When she just quoted, everybody says put it on everything. Have you heard that before, Jack?
I've not. So is it like a remedy for just absolutely everything?
Well, I've never put it on myself, but I have put it on my babies because they do this weird thing at about 6 weeks old where they get like teenage acne. Babies. Brand new newborn baby.
I think I've seen that. It looks like almost rashy.
Yeah, and it's on their face,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my God, you got a face only your mother would love. And so all of mine had it. Most babies do, and I think it's weirdly. I mean, childbirth and growing a person inside you is a weird miracle, but apparently, I think I remember this right after everything I've read. The zits and stuff that are coming out is actually the mother's hormones leaving the baby's body out through the skin. I mean, it's an absolute miracle. But someone said, get some breast milk on his face. And instead of taking it out of my boob and putting it in a bottle and whatever, I would just line up the baby's face and go
Squirt.
straight out, fresh fresh delivery, and it does work. I don't know what is in that stuff, but it is amazing. I think I may have put it on a blister on my foot. All right, let's move on to a show that is coming to Netflix on February the 1st. Write this down because Lord knows there's going to be long summer days where you are cooked and you just want to sit on the couch and watch television. This is going to be unmissable. It is a telemovie, I guess they're called, movie on Netflix, telling the story of Mary Kay Letourneau and her student/husband, Vili Falau.
I'm not across this story.
People that know this story need no explanation. If you are not, it was the massive scandal in the late 90s in America. A teacher, a grown adult female teacher with 4 kids, happily married apparently, went to church, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Ended up having a relationship with her 12-year-old student in her class. And she was charged, of course, with a long list of infringements, did jail time, but ended up marrying this guy and having a separate family with him.
Once she got out of jail?
Yes.
So she was still with that student years on?
Yes. So she was in jail for 8 years. He waited for her. They got married for 14 years and then she passed away quite recently.
Alexa, play Taylor Swift Love Story.
It is, well, I don't know whether it is a love story. I think it's a felony.
But they also ended up together.
Well, this is the thing. It is a great dinner party conversation because what is it? I mean, it's definitely fascinating.
I mean, it starts very illegal, obviously.
Very, very bad. Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore star in the Netflix.
Wow. Huge names.
Huge names. That is all you need to know. And our own Matt Doran, he interviewed the couple years ago, and there is a scene in the new movie that is based on that interview, which was very awkward.
Chrissie's Country Quizzy.
Every time they play that song, I want to sing Burn, Baby, Burn, which is a disco song, not a country song. Am I right, Paige?
Yes, you're right.
You are a big country fan. Did your sort of love of this genre start with Garth Brooks or with Patsy Cline, or who was the origin?
I'm definitely a fan of Morgan Wallen.
Oh, okay, so you're a new one.
Last night we let Chrissy loves
Liquor
that song.
talk, I can't remember what I... Hey, Tyler, are you a new fan or an old fan of country?
I would have to say I'm a new fan, to be honest.
Good on you. Good on you. We take them all because I love country music.
I know. And Swanee, in today's bum bag are tickets to see Zach Bryan this Saturday in Melbourne. And Paige and Tyler, neither of you are from Melbourne, so we'll fly you down, whoever wins.
Yeah.
That is exciting. Best of luck, cheese bags. Your names are your buzzers. It's best of 5, meaning the first person to get 3 answers correct wins the game and gets the bum bag and gets to see the great man. Question number 1. Name the country singer Nicole Kidman is married to.
Paige.
Yes, Paige?
Keith Urban.
Correct. What do you think of her re-signing up with Balenciaga after their very scandalous advertising campaign?
Yeah, no comment.
No comment. All
I
right.
think it's fine. We've moved on.
Question number 2. It's art. Question number 2. What is another name for horse and cow poo?
Paige.
Yes, Paige.
Manure.
Yes.
2 points to Paige. Tyler, you're yet to get on the scoreboard.
Tyler, you've got to get in with your name first. I can't accept it if you're just going, You've got to say Tyler. Question number 3. Name this Zach Bryan song that went viral in 2020.
Paige.
Paige.
Heading south.
Heading south. Well done.
Paige, you've just won
You've
tickets to
just
see
won.
Zach Bryan.
Well done.
Oh my God! Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, poor Tyler. You like one of those country songs where your wife dies and your dog runs away and your car explodes.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Jump back on the horse, Tyler. We're going to be playing again tomorrow, and there are more Zach Bryan tickets in the bum bag.
The Chrissy Swan Show. The Chrissy Swan Show.
I want to tell you about a compulsive liar that has had his comeuppance. 13-24-10. What is the biggest lie that you've ever been told? We've all told little white lies, but there's something super delicious about being told a lie, a story, and you can tell that the person is lying and you let them finish.
It's so shocking because sometimes when it happens, you feel like you're living in an alternate universe. 'Cause you're like, wait, you actually think I believe you right now?
Yes. And see, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like I'm not stupid by any stretch, but also I tend to believe everything that someone tells me. So more often than not, when I'm lied to, it's a few days later or weeks or months later. And I cannot believe that I believed the story when I was hearing it.
Yes, yeah.
Some of them are whoppers, just like this YouTuber. This YouTuber suffered a very scary, terrifying, destructive, catastrophic plane crash. He was flying his plane, a light aeroplane, from 2 spots in America. It doesn't matter. But he crashed it by accident. The engines failed. And he had a lot of recording devices on it for reasons that will become apparent later. And he filmed the whole thing, the plane losing its engine, him scooching out from behind the steering wheel of the cockpit, him getting out of the plane mid-air while it was flying and then dropping via parachute into the middle of nowhere.
And you see him holding that big GoPro stick, Swanee, and you literally see him then parachute down to the ground.
Where he arrives safely, but I can't say the same thing about the plane.
No.
Now, this guy is a famous YouTuber and used to be an Olympic skier or something like that.
A snowboarder, yeah.
A snowboarder. And so got lots of followers on YouTube. And they would have been very delighted and amazed to see this footage. You got a lot of clicks, got a lot of likes.
4.4 million views.
That is a lot because who does this happen to? And we never get to see stuff like this.
We never get to see it. Like the video, Swanee, you see, I mean, given no one's in it, it's not too disturbing to watch. But you see the plane crash into the mountain. Like,
yes,
it's
because
quite
of the
incredible.
Camera, the camera's inside it as well as on the outside. I mean, it's extraordinary footage if it were true. He's just been sentenced to 6 months jail for making up the whole thing.
Wild.
It was meticulously planned. The whole thing is a lie. This is the most elaborate lie I've ever seen.
Because you would have to forward think about what happens with the authorities. Like, it's not like just a lie that your mates know about or your work friends. Like, the police are going to want to investigate this. There's aeroplane boards. Like,
of course. And interestingly, you are absolutely spot on. The Transportation Safety Board asked him to tell them where the wreckage was because they needed to investigate it. They've got to find out what's going on with this sort of stuff. And he said he didn't know where the plane went down.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know where it is. I mean, this pales in comparison to the biggest lie I was ever told, which was by a girl in prep. And I will not say her name because I'm sure she's still very embarrassed 200 years later. She told everybody that she had tickets to go and see Kiss, the super band, the super group in 1979. And it was a lie. It was a total lie. Kiss fever was all over this country and everybody wanted to go, and she lied and said that she was going and she wasn't going to turn up to school the next day having not been. The shame of it.
Did she try and act as if she had or try and make out like it was an incredible performance?
Yes. It was so clear that she wasn't ever going. It was awful. What is the biggest lie that you've ever heard?
Oh, probably more recently, me knowing someone was back with their ex and sleeping with them.
Yeah.
And I asked this person and they looked at me in the eye and said, no, absolutely not a chance. And I know for a fact that they were.
When it's unfolding in front of you.
But they just lie through their teeth.
13, 24, 10, what is the biggest whopper of a lie you've ever heard?
The Chrissie Swan Show.
And we're talking about the biggest lies that you've ever been told off the back of this YouTuber that faked an entire plane crash where he jumped mid-air out of it.
Insanity.
And then there was a camera inside the plane that filmed it smashing into the ground. Unbelievable.
And you know how you were saying, Swanee, that the authorities asked him where the wreckage is?
Yeah.
And he goes, I can't
don't
remember.
know.
He had got in a helicopter himself to go and fetch it and dismantle the wreckage. Like,
He's got
really
a problem.
committed.
He's got a real problem, as a lot of liars do. We've got anonymous, which means this is juicy AF. Juicy, what is your lie? Anonymous, not juicy.
Okay, so my girlfriend, we lived together, and then she got married and had 2 boys with her husband, and then I thought the children didn't look quite like Dad, but she claimed that they were his children. Anyway, time had passed. We caught up with another colleague that we were both friends with, and he asked me, "What did you think of the boys?" And I said, "They look great. They're fantastic kids." And he said, "Who do you think they look like?" And I said, "They don't look like their dad." He goes, "Well, they're not his." And they're divorced, and he's been paying child support the whole time.
I'm sorry, what are those 2 boys from the colleague?
No. This is someone else. I can't say what position he's in, but she had an affair with the guy prior to them getting married, got married, kept the affair going.
Don't you want to tell this guy if he's paying for the kids?
I feel sorry for the ex-husband who was paying child support for children that weren't his.
That is a big lie. Big lie. Are you still friends with your ex-girlfriend?
No.
No.
After I found out through a friend, one that told me, I thought, it was just not. It just felt morally wrong, because I just thought if I ever see the ex-husband, it's just
that's right. Puts you in a sticky situation. Absolutely. Natasha, what's the biggest lie that you've been told?
It was actually my ex. He denied that the child was his. So I found out later, like after we'd broken up, that he was seeing someone else, and she had a little boy, and I confronted him and said, "Well, the age of this child, you must have still been with me." And he's like, No, not mine, it's my dad's. So I was like, okay. But
wait a minute.
So knew.
He said that his dad was sleeping with this woman.
Yeah. Well, because at that time he actually denied that he was seeing her as well. So, but I'd been confirmed by a few people had actually told me that he was seeing her and that the child was his.
Were they both seeing her or just him?
No, it was just him.
Right,
but he tried to tell me that it was his dad, that his dad was seeing her and his dad had got her pregnant and all the rest of it. And but eventually he actually he ended up going to jail. And so he had to admit it to me, because she was taking my child, because I had a child with him as well. She was taking my daughter and her child in to see him. And then that's when he he never actually confessed that it was his. He just said, "Thank you for letting me see our daughter and not turning into a psycho and like not letting her come in to see me."
Oh, Natasha.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I'm actually friends with her, and I went to her wedding a couple of years ago. Because they're not together either.
Oh, Natasha, are you a drama magnet? Like, has your life always been this way?
Yeah, that's why I'm single now. I've been single for about 10 years. I'm not doing it again.
Gosh, what a story.
That's
Imagine
incredible.
the hot tears in the pillow about the betrayal. Sarah, I've been waiting to get to this call, my girl. What did your ex do?
Okay, a little bit of a cooked person, but we dated many years ago. I was 18, so young and naive. It was like a long-distance online relationship. We met through mutual friends in a video game. We were dating about 4 or 5 months at a point, and he just started acting really possessive, lots of red flags. So I told him that I needed a bit of a break, a little bit of space, not so much 10 calls an hour kind of thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, bad. And then over the space of like the first week, he sent me a few photos of him in hospital, like hooked up to all these machines. And he was saying that the stress I was causing him was giving him heart issues.
Right.
Another week later, I get an email followed up by a Skype call with his sister, whom I'd met online, and his family telling me that he had a heart attack behind the wheel of his car and died because of the stress of the break. And then a couple of years later, he came up as a suggested friend on Facebook. He had a whole new account. He had been alive the complete 2 years, and he continued on with his life.
Sarah, I cannot believe this. Having said that, I have seen 17,000 episodes of Nev Schulman's Catfish, and this is classic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chrissie Chrissie's Clickbait.
As Neil Diamond would say, it's love on the rocks for Cardi B. Oh, God, it's taken all year for me to get a Neil Diamond reference. In here, Cardi B and her husband or just boyfriend, whatever, her significant other.
No, they're married.
A guy called Offset.
A rapper.
A rapper called Offset. It's love on the rocks, guys. It could well be over because in the universal sign that all adults apparently do, all grown-up, communicative, properly not dysfunctional adults, they've told everybody that things aren't great at home by unfollowing each other.
That's maturity, Swanee.
I mean, I cannot believe this. Then, not only that, they've unfollowed each other. This is a grown man and woman with children.
Yeah.
They've unfollowed each other, and then she has done one of those things that I first fell in hate with on Facebook. Those duplicitous kind of statements that could mean anything, but don't ask me about it. She has said, oh my God, I can't even read my... She goes, I'm tired of protecting people's feelings. I've got to put myself first.
Oh, shut up, Cardi.
All of these statements are designed for people to go, why, Cardi, why?
Why?
She goes, you know, when you just outgrow relationships, and then she went on to, I'm tired of protecting people's feelings. I do not understand grown adults, grown human beings that discuss their private affairs, new relationships, old relationships, anything to do with their kids, anything troubling. I do not understand why you share that with total strangers if it's the most disposable, unimportant thing in the world.
There has to only be one reason. I always think about this. It has to be because they're thirsty for a bit of attention.
But that's
or
so
clout.
sad.
It is sad, Swanee, but I don't understand why else they do it because it doesn't help anything. It doesn't help your relationship. Letting people know doesn't fix it.
And it's nobody's business.
No.
Why do I, Chrissie Swan, in Australia, need to know that Cardi B and her partner are having a hard time and she needs to tell me, you know, when you just grow out of relationships? I mean, I'm done with that. I'm cranky about it. Now, I do want to talk about a film that is currently in cinemas and it might be leaving soon. So if you care about a film recommendation, please go and see Saltburn. It's not for everyone.
Oh, I loved it so much, Swanee. I saw it last night and I'm obsessed with it.
You were the first person I thought of when I left the cinema. I thought Jack is going to love this. Well, the star of it, of course, is Jacob Elordi, who we love. He's going to be... You're going to know, if you don't know him already, you're going to know him in a second because he's about to play Elvis in the Priscilla movie and he was in Euphoria. Sabrina Carpenter is not in the film, but she is supporting my Queen Taylor Swift on the tour here. And she has been spotted out and about. Sabrina, careful, not Taylor, has been spotted out and about with the guy that is also in Saltburn called Barry Keoghan.
Yes. He's that dude that dances to this at the end of Saltburn. With his schlong out, just flopping around everywhere. Tom's face. His schlong's out.
Have you got a, I think schlong's a bit much, but have you got a horse neigh sound effect? It is a great film, and as I said, it's not for everyone. When I went to the cinema, my friend Pam Barnes, who was the executive producer on The Circle and a legend of television, happened to be behind me. And when when the film finished, I turned around. She's about 70, I'm going to say. I turned around and locked eyes with her and she said, what the hell was that? So that's her opinion. I loved it and you loved it even more. Go and see it at your own peril. We are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy whatever sunshine is left in your part of the world.
Bye.
Now check this out.
The Chrissy Swan Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.